Deck the halls with parts of Charlie. Fa la 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 la. Make the Yuletide gross and gnarly. Fa la 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 la. Stocking stuffed with ears and fingers. Fa la 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 la. Chant from all those caroling singers. Fa la 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 la. Drape the hearth with chunks of Barney. Fa la 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 la. Bits of Bruce and hunks of Arnie. Fa la 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 la. Hang the crypt with spleens and kidneys. Fa la 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 la. Use Ramones and then use Sydney's. Fa la 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 la.
Ho, 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 ho! Welcome to the Christmas special, episode 33 of TerrorVision Horror Podcast. I'm your host, Dan McGuinness, and joining me as always on the meat wagon is my co-host, Jennifer the Dream Warrior Strand. What is the toot toot?
I don't know.
Is that like the meat train?
I'm on a meat train.
A wagon kind of makes us the noise like you know, just wagging along.
No, I just like toot-tooting sometimes.
Toot-tooting.
It makes me feel better.
Fine. Together we are two people with a love of horror and feel the burn of our obsolete Blockbuster memberships. And my fun fact for the week is I once ate 8 Dagwood dogs in one day.
Okay, so I have questions.
Yeah.
Were they like the normal-sized Dagwood dogs, the super-sized ones, or the little bitty ones?
This was at the Royal Adelaide show.
Yeah.
That it was the middle-sized ones. This was before, you know, the gigantic ones existed. But it was definitely, like, it was a stock standard show Dagwood dog, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was there with my wife, who at that time was my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I just love Dagwood dogs. I get excited every year because I just get excited for everything.
Yes.
And I went there and I had 1, then I had 2, and I had 3, and I had 4. And she's like, you had heaps many. I went, you think I've had many? I'll watch this.
So was this progressively over like an 8-hour day, or are we talking
probably
like...
over 5 hours. So there was at least 2 in the first hour. And, like, you know. I think
look, I'm not going to judge you on that because that's... Yeah, like...
What do you mean judge me? It's the best.
Oh, it is the best. I fucking love Dagwood dogs.
Yeah.
You can buy them now, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It is not the same.
And you need a big old deep fryer that's been deep frying like 460 other types of food in the day to get that distinct taste.
Yes. I was really disappointed. I mean, I don't go to the show. It's not for me. I think it's a waste of money. There's too many people. But hot dog... Like, Dagwood dogs at the show is the best.
It's true. Once I made pancakes with a friend and we put Fritz in it, cubes in it to try it out.
Yeah.
And it was basically a Dagwood dog. It tasted exactly like.
Pretty much,
Put sauce in it. It was a Dagwood dog pancake.
Done. Sounds amazing.
What's your fun fact?
I played drums for 10 years, Dan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In the last 10 years?
No. When I started playing drums back in, I think, 96, 97, and then I played all the way through high school until I was kind of like, it's not cool to play drums anymore. Not from me. And then I also just got way too busy and, you know.
Was it ever cool to play drums?
Yes.
Why did you start? Were you in a band? Did you want to be in a band?
No. I mean, I would have liked to. I have like a lot of no confidence as a person. So being in a band would have been cool. But no, I was just one of those kids that was just continuously tapping on things. And my uncle actually plays drums, and he plays drums in a couple of bands. And so he just brought his kit round one day, and they just set me up with the kit for like, have at it, kid, and yeah, sort of picked it up.
So you taught yourself?
I ended up having lessons, but most of it was just self-taught.
Right.
So yeah.
Did you ever dream about being in a band? Was that the end game?
Nah, I mean, look, if it happened, it happened, but
you could have been in an angry girl band.
I could have been.
You could have been like L7. You could have been L8.
Oh.
I think there's guys in L7.
We could have been like J8. No,
J.
I'd like to get back into it. It's something that I'd like to do once I buy a house and have room for it. But yeah.
And build a bunker so no one can hear it.
That's right.
Nice. All
It's
right,
so
let's
loud.
get on with the show. This is our Christmas special. We have devoted all of the show to Christmas, apart from the news.
Yep.
And our movie was a Christmas theme one. I love Christmas. I've set my Christmas tree up today. I listened to like old Christmas records whilst putting my Christmas tree up. I wrapped all my gifts. I bought myself gifts all year and wrapped them all and put them under the tree.
I hate Christmas.
Oh, you're
I'm
such a...
such a Grinch.
It's not cool to be Grinch anymore.
I'm okay with that. When have I ever been called Anne?
Always.
No.
Anyway, horror news. Each week, me and Jen take you through the horror news you need to know about. Welcome to Horror News, Christmas edition.
No Christmas theme news this week, but
Boo.
I know, I'm so sorry. If I tried hard enough, I probably could have found some. But it looks like the movie Antlers, so Guillermo del Toro produced Antlers, has been bumped from its planned February 2021 release. Which bums me out because have you watched the trailer for this?
Yes.
It looks so fucking good.
Yeah, it looks scary. He's good at scary. Del Toro.
He's produced it, but so he's got his dick in it, which means it's still going to have that
Del
Del
Toro.
Toro.
Getting stirred by a Del Toro penis.
Yes. So it was meant to be released just this April gone. But obviously with COVID, everything that's not happening is just COVID related. We're blaming it on COVID. And then they, set a new date for February 19th, but it looks like they don't kind of know how or where to release it. So that February 19th date is now an indefinite delay.
Is it an English film?
Yeah, it is, because it's got Kerry Russell in it.
I always find his films in his native language are always his better films.
Yes, I agree.
Easily.
Yep.
Didn't he do Blade 2?
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. That's why, maybe. You'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
We have to look. You keep talking.
Okay. For those of you who don't know too much about it, it's set in a small town in Oregon. So there's a teacher played by Kerry Russell, who y'all know her as Felicity from the hit TV series Felicity. And her brother, the local sheriff, become entwined with a young student harboring a dangerous secret with frightening consequences. If you haven't seen the trailer for this, I highly recommend looking it up because it looks fucking sick. Creepy, all that shit.
He did do Blade 2.
Oh my lord.
How is the cast of Blade 2? Wesley Snipes, Norman Reedus, Ron Perlman, Donnie Yen. Is this the dream? I reckon I'm going to have to go back and watch it, because I haven't watched it in a long time.
No.
I remember I watched Blade 1 a lot.
Yes.
And I remember when Blade 2 came out, I reckon I might have been the wrong time for me. And I've just noticed it's come up on Netflix as well. So I reckon it's time to revisit Blade 2, especially with Donnie Yen. Back then I didn't know who Donnie Yen was.
Oh,
Donnie Yen's only kind of existed in my life in the last 8 years and stuff, when I discovered Ip Man and yeah. Oh man, I wonder if it'll be one of those Donnie Yen roles where he's speaking English but he doesn't know what he's saying. He just reads his lines and
yes.
He's pretty good nowadays, but back I know that he did do a lot of films where he's just I don't know what I said.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that was the Del Toro movie.
Yeah.
That's early Del Toro as well.
Yeah.
And that's probably why all the effects looked really good.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what happened in Blade 2. I probably couldn't tell you what happened in Blade 1 either.
They were mutation vampires. They were vampires, I think. No, don't quote me on this. I think there were vampires in it that fed on vampires.
Oh, okay.
And they had giant mouths that opened up or something. But anyhow, what's Antlers about? I've only seen the teaser real early, and if they put out another trailer,
I think there is a full trailer. I'll post it because everyone needs to fucking get on board with Antlers. So yeah, I'm just bummed out about that. And I've got a few people that contact me every so often. I don't necessarily see people a lot or hang out with people, but every so often I've got a few people that are just oh, some film's coming out. I need to contact Jen about it. I'm
just to make sure.
I'm okay with that. I'm that horror gal. Makes me happy.
Oh, well.
But yeah.
So it's been bumped. So when I was looking at Blade, I don't know if I missed this. Did it say when it was bumped to?
It's kind of an indefinite delay because it's being released by Disney Searchlight, so they don't know what or how they're gonna. I mean,
it seems like a Disney film.
I was gonna say just release it on Disney Plus. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'd be excellent.
I love it.
And, Onward and
Yeah, no, keen. So yeah, I'll post the trailer. Everyone can get in on that, and then everyone else can be mad that it's been indefinitely delayed.
The pictures, the branding for this definitely looks very Del Toro. He does a lot of kid stuff.
It's very dark, very
the Devil's
related.
Backbone-esque.
Yes.
Baboon-esque.
Baboon-esque.
Baboon-esque. Anyway, what's next on news?
All right. Are you a fan of Broad City, Dan?
I don't mind it.
mind
My
it?
wife, Claire, watches it, and I come in and watch episodes every now and then until the main characters piss me off and I leave because they're too pretentious and weirdos.
That's the
It's the
response.
same situation I got with Girls. Do you remember Girls?
I do remember Girls.
I couldn't handle it.
No.
I was like, I hate everyone on this show. Why would I watch it?
Yes, I tried very hard. I quite like Broad City. It's not something that I...
Yeah, it's easier. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it gives me the shits, but for the most part, I quite like it. Anyway, so Alana Glazer from Broad City has co-written a movie called False Positive, which is getting a release with A24. So you know A24, Hereditary, kind of,
They're kind of
slow
like
burn
the
horrors.
horror, serious business.
Yeah.
We
This
don't
is
fuck
like-
around.
Yeah.
No room for Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, no room for puns.
For puns or jokes.
Humour, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Get outta
It's
here.
just like, you got a child, we'll kill it. And then make you watch it and then make you eat it.
Pretty much, yes. So this is going to be exciting. So it's been acquired by Hulu, which means we'll get it in theatres here. People get it in streaming services there. So this is interesting. It's got a bit of a contemporary take on Rosemary's Baby.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that Alana Glazer wrote a
So
film.
false positive is in pregnancy?
Yeah. So after several attempts of trying and failing to get pregnant, Lucy, played by Glazer, and Adrian, played by Justin Theroux, finally find their dream fertility doctor in the illustrious Dr. Hindle, played by Pierce Brosnan.
Everything Brosnan does these days is either bad or he's like a baddie.
He's just living for that paycheck, and I support it.
I watched something the other day where he was the baddie. What was it? Pierce Brosnan.
Is it Mamma Mia?
No.
Okay.
Carry on.
But after becoming pregnant with a healthy baby girl, Lucy begins to notice something sinister through Hindle's gleaming charm. And as she sets out to uncover the unsettling truth about him and her own birth story, so as if getting pregnant wasn't complicated enough.
That's a good tagline, eh? Because I've just gone through a pregnancy and it's fucked. It's like I didn't realize how much stuff women had to go through when they get pregnant, like the amount of injections you have to take and medication and how much it fucks with you. And I'm like, what?
I keep hearing...
And all I do is just sex a hole. And that's all I do. And then I stand back and go, well, I'm going to go play video games for the next 9 months while your body gets twisted and torted and you change your whole personality and you're not the normal person and then a baby comes out of a small hole.
Yeah. Well, I think, so my girlfriend's mum, her teeth cracked. Her front teeth cracked and had to be replaced because when Liz was in the belly, she took all her calcium.
Really?
So she had no calcium, so her teeth broke. That's terrifying.
I was trying to get why Liz is on the internet because of that, too much calcium.
That's
just
right.
makes her too angry.
Yep, that's fine. I think my sister-in-law got diabetes.
Oh yeah, Clay got supposedly that happens to so many women. And then you've got preeclampsia, which is
The fuck is that?
you don't know.
No.
Preeclampsia is the main culprit for being the most fuckedest. I can't explain it because Claire was on the road to getting preeclampsia. Mm-hmm. It basically just kills you. If you get preeclampsia, a bad case of it in the American system, pregnancy system, you can die pretty easily.
Oh my lord.
I can't. I read a whole book on what it was, and I've gone blank on what it was.
No, that's fair. That's fine. That's fine. That's terrifying. Babies are terrifying. Never in my life will I ever have a baby.
You might.
I'll never birth a baby.
You might.
I might find one and just take it in as my own, but that's about it.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie sounds. I don't know if I'll watch this. I don't like. I think we talked about that other one that was about the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not into. I
can't do babies now.
It's not now. I just don't like them. They're already a horror story. Don't make it worse. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that children aren't amazing because they are,
but they're also terrifying.
Yeah. They're hard. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will not watch this.
No, I like babies. I like your baby.
It's alright.
I like most babies.
Oh yeah, babies are fine.
Yeah.
It's just you could just make a movie like a real life movie about a pregnancy that goes wrong, and it will be more of a horror film than anything you can make up. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah, definitely.
you don't need to add, like, then the baby tries to kill you.
No. Yeah, look, I'll watch this. Why not? I like Ilana Glazer. There you go.
Cool.
End of story.
That is the end of the story, and that leaves just enough room for us to get into our Christmas movie. So every week, Jennifer and I set ourselves a horror movie to watch, and then we go through it scene by scene and spoil the fuck out of it for you and everyone else in the entire world. It's a deep dive into glorious gore, hard edits, cheesy acting, and directing madness. And this week, snow and Santa suits and everything Christmassy, jingly junglers. You know, ching, 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 ching.
Yep.
That's a Christmas sound. Anyway, we have a rating system. What is it, Jen?
Okay. So, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, what the hell are you doing? But, secondly, our rating system. So, we've got A, awesome, everybody should watch. B is our beer and chicken wing group movie. F is for fun and dumb. We've got the C, which is a classic that's worth a watch. We've got the U, underrated. G, good for its time but is not held up. We've got the J, Jen special. The D, Dan special. We've got a W, which is whatever, so off my radar. We've got a Kesha, which is just a low-budget hot mess. And then we've got the McConaughey, which is the fucking fucked.
The fucking of all the fucked.
Yeah, just...
It's not that McConaughey's a bad actor. He just is in that one film we watched.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, I've got a couple of people asking us to do a McConaughey shirt.
I'm onto the pins.
Yeah, you're onto the pins?
Yeah. Pins will definitely come first before the shirts. We've already got a shirt coming. Merchandise is coming, people. Don't worry.
It's happening.
So this week, we watched, as part of Christmas Bonanza, we watched Silent Night, Deadly Night from 1984.
Yes. So it's directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr., who has done not a lot since.
I wonder why.
I'm not surprised. We've got a screenplay by Paul Kiami. I'm going to say Kiami.
Yep.
He did the story, and then it's also the screenplay is done by Michael Hickey. It stars Robert Brian Wilson. Had a budget of $750,000, and box office was $2.5 million.
Doubled his money?
Which,
bit more. Oh, no, over doubled his money.
It did, which is interesting based on the old history of this
The hate of this film.
Oh, okay.
You got some fun facts?
I do have some fun facts. So this film opened the same week as A Nightmare on Elm Street and briefly outgrossed it by almost $62,000 because it was showing in twice as many theatres. And then it was pulled after just 2 weeks in the theatres because people bitched out about it.
Yeah, they couldn't handle it.
No.
And I'd never watched this film up until this point, and I knew of this film. This film was not, I'm just going to say from the start, this film was not what I thought it was, hey?
No.
Like, there's not much of this. There's only, like, the very end is what I thought it was.
We're talking 40 minutes of this film. It's like
the rest of it is like a...
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we will. To protest the film, critics Siskel and Ebert, which I do have the little clip here, which will also be posted on the social media because it's fucking hilarious. They basically read out loud the names of the companies that owned the distributing, so TriStar Pictures, and they basically shamed them. And then
the directors and the producers as well. They
shamed everyone. He's like, he also called out the writer, director, producer, and said, "You people have nothing to be proud of."
He just hated it.
He fucking hated it. But then I think they actually just gave it 2 stars, which for a horror film is not too bad.
Yeah,
who cares?
They didn't realize that they didn't realize that how good a marketing they were probably doing as well for a film. Like, if anyone gives a film like this, hates it that much, I will watch it.
Yeah, it's kind of like if a film's banned. It's like, bitch, I'm going to watch that film.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the shit out of that.
Tell me I can't watch this banned film.
My eyes are going to find that. They're going to pop out my head and run around town until they find it on a VCD somewhere.
Yeah, I will buy a copy for $100 and get it shipped from Uruguay. You are gay.
Get on a plane and fly to Bali and have some Balinese dude who's just copied it off of like 600 copies,
Yep.
Put it onto a CD-ROM, and I will get that. Mm-hmm. Anyhow.
Yep. So, yeah, there you go.
So we still don't know what this is about.
Okay. So, here's the tagline, guys. You've made it through Halloween. Now try and survive Christmas.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. So little Billy witnesses his parents being brutally murdered by Santa. Years later, when he has to fill in for an absent in-store Santa Claus, his childhood trauma materializes once again. It's pretty spot on.
It's pretty much. This movie is a one-idea film, hey?
Yeah.
There was only one idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Oh,
The
yes.
film.
Yes.
First thing, titles.
Yep.
Girls singing.
Yep. Creepy kids singing Christmas carols.
Yeah, like real full-on Christmas carols and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then it kind of goes from, like, Christmassy to, like, bam, scary, music, like horror movie, like...
Yeah. Had a nice kind of, like, 80s cartoon blood splatter title sequence that started as, like, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
And then it goes to credits. The credits have... And then it goes to, like, a credit sequence, which just has, like, piano, kind of creepy piano over it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that's really it.
Yeah.
What I forgot to write down my notes. What? And then it cuts to a title: Christmas Eve, 1970. I didn't write down what it was.
Christmas Eve, 1971.
One.
Yes.
See, I wrote down the wrong number, and then when I came to it cut forward in the film, I'm like, hang on, this is before it.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't remember what it was. I'm like,
Oh, no.
So 1971, very early.
Yep. Very early.
We cut to a family car drive, a car with family driving it. We got a mum and dad and a baby and a kid. They're driving. It's nighttime. They're driving somewhere. Christmas Eve.
Kid's reading his little Christmas book.
Yeah.
Music.
Kids asking some boring questions about Santa. The mum's answering it. This scene is totally we get the idea.
Yeah.
They're a family.
You're a happy family.
And they're traveling to see. They're going to see Grandpa.
Yep. At the Utah mental facility.
Yeah, which they rock up to, and he's at Utah mental facility. I'm like, not what I expected.
Yeah, no, not at all. So then they're talking to one of the people that work there, and we've set him up in the common room. Go visit him in there. Obviously,
visit Grandpa.
He's kind of in this vegetative state, so he's just sitting there staring off into space. Catatonic.
So he was just sitting there staring ahead, not blinking. Like he wasn't like unconscious. He was just sitting, not moving, eyes open, hardly even breathing.
Nothing there.
You can't talk to him. You click your fingers in front of him, nothing happens.
Yeah. So they're trying to talk to him, and nothing's coming through. So then they have to go and talk to someone else in another room.
But there was another thing. So they're like Grandpa, and then the guy's like, "Hey, Dad, this is what's the kid's name? Billy.
Billy.
This is Billy." And Billy goes, "Well, what's wrong with Grandpa?" And then the wife goes, Now, don't be mean to Dad. I'm like, hang on, how can he both be your dad?
Yeah.
And I'm like, are they sisters and brothers?
No, it was, sometimes it's like...
Nah.
No?
Nah.
No?
Because it was never...
Do you never refer to Claire's parents as mum and dad?
So they're brother and sister... Are they brother and sister and they're married? Well, it is Utah. Yeah.
Oh, fucking savaging on Utah, mate.
Yeah, so they and then the parents of the year, they just leave Billy. They say, "You just sit with Grandpa while we go talk to the doctors for a second." They just leave this kid who's never met Grandpa before, apparently.
No.
Yeah, with this stranger who is catatonic and is not moving. I'm like, weird. But we need to move the story along somehow.
And as soon as the parents leave, Grandpa, he wakes up.
He starts talking to Billy.
He's talking. He kind of just does that slow turn. And starts freaking the kid out about Christmas.
He's like, Santa only brings presents to kids that have been good all year.
Have you been good all year?
Yes. What does he do? Have you been naughty? What does he do to the naughty ones? He goes, if you see Santa tonight, you better run for your life. And at first I was like, oh, okay, so this guy's going to come back and be the Santa. No. There is there's no reason for this scene to be in it at all, apart from to kickstart little Billy's fear of trauma. Christmas.
Yeah. So, because I like it, he's like, your mummy can't help you now. Christmas Eve is the scariest night of the year. And I'm like, okay. Creepy.
Yeah, so basically the grandpa is there to start his fear.
Yeah.
Anyhow, and of course, as soon as the parents get back, he goes back to being catatonic, and they're like...
Yep.
And then...
What Grandpa said, it's like, oh, do you think you talked to him while we were gone? Nah, couldn't happen.
Because now they leave.
Yeah.
They're in the car. They're cruising to wherever they're going, and then the kid's, worried about Christmas, and he goes, oh, what? And they're like, who told you, Santa hurts people if they've been naughty. And
Yeah.
it's Grandpa. And I like this. Straight away, they're like, do you think Grandpa could have talked to him?
Yeah.
It's possible. At first, because I was like, they're sure that it's going to dismiss this and go, nah, you're a fucking idiot, mate.
Yeah.
But no, they were like, so they kind of thought, yeah, you know.
It had one of my favorite quotes and responses as well throughout the film, because the kid's like freaking out. He's like, Santa's going to punish all these kids that have been naughty. And I think the mum just turns around and goes, Grandpa is a crazy old fool. And the kid just goes, and the look on his face is just like...
Or he goes, you can't say that. That's being naughty. Yeah. As if he's like, now Santa's going to kill you.
Santa's going to kill everyone.
And of course, then they come across, up in a road ahead, there is a guy No.
So first...
skipping ahead.
So first we cut to...
Hard cut
to a convenience store. So there's a Santa in there. He's like, they're just having a good old chat. He's having a chat to the clerk, and then he pulls out a gun, and he's robbing the store. And he's like, what are you doing that for? And he's like, I'm robbing you, asshole.
Yeah, so
this film is so quotable as well. I fucking love it.
Yeah, there were some pretty good lines. And then the guy, like the clerk, he reaches for a gun and then Santa, shoots him.
Yeah, 2 in the chest, 1 in the head. Merry fucking Christmas.
Oh, good. The headshot was wicked.
It looked really
really
good.
real to the point where I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Did they just shoot someone? Easier on the budget.
Found some guy, it's fine.
Like the headshot, it went straight to his forehead. It just banged into his forehead. And then blood started coming out of his head. I'm like, yeah, that would have hurt that dude. Because squibs hurt?
Yeah.
I reckon that dude, because he fully, when he got hit, he fully whacked his head back. And I'm like, I reckon that was from the force of the squib.
Probably.
And he just probably the worst headache.
Oh, so then he fucks off. He peels out.
And then we're done.
Yeah.
Scene. And then we're like, okay, so that's going to be the Santa who kills everyone. So seeing a lot of Santa red herrings.
Yeah. Yes. So then it comes back to the family driving in the car. I think at this point, they're all kind of asleep or something.
Yeah, they're half asleep. They're listening to Christmas. The dad's listening to Christmas carols. They're a shit-eating fucking family.
I fucking love it. So then they come across this car that has broken down, and so conveniently, it is the convenience store Santa.
And because the kid wakes up and goes, no,
he starts
Santa,
freaking out. Don't pull over. Don't pull over.
And they're like, it's all right.
They pull over, and he's like, oh, do you need a ride? And then Santa just starts shooting the car.
No, first he does a little bit of talk with him, but then he's pulls out a gun. He's like, I don't know what Santa's plan ever was.
I don't know.
Because he only got $30 from the convenience robbery. So he pulls out a gun, and then the kid they kind of go to drive. What happens?
The dad chucks it in reverse.
Yeah.
But Santa's shooting the car, so the dad gets shot through the windshield.
Yeah.
And then
little Billy.
Fucking Billy he fucks off.
He bails. He runs and hides in the bushes.
He just leaves his family behind. He's hiding in the bushes on the side of the room.
So yeah.
The mum gets dragged out of the car.
First Santa opens the car door and Dad falls out and Billy gets to see his dad with a bullet hole in his head.
He's dead.
Done by Santa. Then Mum gets dragged out of the car and of course her top gets ripped open, her boobs are flopping everywhere. Going to be a rape scene. Yeah. But then Santa just pulls out a knife and cuts the mother's throat. And I'm like, why did he rip her top off if he wasn't going to rape her?
Don't know.
Not to say that's how I do it, but but you know what I mean? It was just a gratuitous boob shot.
It's just 80s boobs.
It's will you get your boobs out? Cool, this will add to people liking this
That's
thing.
That's right.
Cuts the throat of Mum, so the little Billy's watching that. Then it cuts to the baby
crying.
Baby crying in the back of the car. And then that's really it. Then it's just slow fade out with a shot of Billy. It doesn't do it does a free shot on Billy.
Oh, that's in the next one.
Oh, there's another
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it pans to a baby's left crying in the car, and then it cuts to December 1974. So 3 years later.
Yes.
This is what I didn't know how long it had been. I was like, what's going on?
Yep. So it's 3 years later,
and we're set
at St. Mary's Home for Orphaned Children.
Is that really what they would call places back then?
Yeah.
Home for orphaned children.
Although they might have said wayward.
Wayward children.
Yeah.
And we cut to a classroom with a nun in it.
Who looks like Ellen DeGeneres.
Which one? The good nun, bad nun? No, the other one's Mother Superior.
Yeah, so this is just a flash in the pan. This is
a rando nun?
Rando nun, yeah, who looks like Ellen. She asks an older, now mulleted Billy to show off his Christmas painting.
Because we're full of a classroom full of kids. So they're like, this is... Yeah. So they're all doing drawings.
Yeah.
Billy, it's his turn to show his picture.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell a story in a sec.
Tell a story.
No, first.
Oh, okay.
So then Billy puts his picture up on the wall and everyone goes like... We don't get to see the picture.
He's like, go to see Mother Superior
Billy,
right now.
Dickhead. Go see Mother Superior. And then it shows Mother Superior looking at this picture, and it's basically a picture of Santa with all knives in him and a reindeer with its head cut off.
Yeah.
Now, my story is, in year 5, my parents got told that I needed to see a therapist because my drawings were all so violent. And the weird thing is, I can draw, and I've always been able to draw better than everyone else. Right? Not now, but back in the primary school days. And so me and my friends were fully into horror films and that, movies like Predator and Alien. We draw in our journals all the gore and that. But the thing with my drawings is I was better than everyone else at drawing. So I could draw these really detailed, gory pictures. And my year 5 teacher hated me. Her name was Mrs. Herbert.
Wow, she sounds like she hates
Mrs.
everyone.
Herbert. Mrs. Herbert called my parents into the school and the principal and said, your child in front of me needs to see psychiatric help because he is drawing these violent pictures. And the principal just looked at it. My parents, my mum was appalled because she's always appalled, and
appalled at you or at the teacher?
He's just good at drawing.
Yeah,
like all kids draw violence, and this teacher hated me.
Interesting.
But I'm one of those kids who got told that they had to.
I had a similar experience, but not so much because my parents were like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, when I was in year 8, I did this whole essay thing on all the torture devices that there were. Now, year 8, you're like, what, 13?
Year 8's the first year of high school. It's not even that weird.
No. But they thought it was weird. Whatever.
My favourite thing in Cryle Castle was the wax torture chamber.
Oh.
That was pretty good. Anyway, Billy gets sent to... They tell him off and they're like, Mother Superior's a dickhead. She's a bitch.
She is.
She is old school. She believes that she is 100% right all the time. She believes that, the Lord is going to save everything. This had a really anti-religious vibe, this film, eh?
It did.
And I think that's what... As in, nuns aren't right all the time. But there is another nun there who's kind of looking out for Billy, and I call her Nice Nun.
I think I just call her Nun, but I kind of she's like Loomis Nun.
Oh.
So yeah, Billy gets told he's told stay in your room until I tell you to come out.
Yeah, and then Nice Nun talks to Mother Superior and is like, can't you see this is manifesting?
Well, we do. We get a little bit of a Loomis monologue here from the Nice Nun.
Oh,
about yeah. So the nun monologue is about the proof of evil inside of Billy, just waiting to come out.
Oh yeah.
And
Mother Superior said, no, just punishment and guilt will get him over it.
Yeah.
There is nothing there. He just needs punishment and guilt and to abide by the rules. Then we cut to Billy in his room.
Yep. He's watching the kids play outside in the snow. They're having a right old good time, and he's stuck inside.
Yeah, but then Nice Nun comes and goes, you know what? It's been long enough. You can go out and play. So he goes out and bails out to his mates, and they're playing out in the front yard in the snow.
Well, he's about to go outside, but then he starts walking through the halls.
Yes. We're like, what's that noise?
And he hears a noise. And so he goes walking through the halls, and then he peeps through a keyhole to
sees a sexy time happening.
To people boning. And I'm like, okay, who is this? Who is this guy? And who is this girl? And why are they fucking in an orphanage?
I know. This is like, what? Who are these? No foreshadowing of characters. Just banging people in an orphanage full of children in the middle of the day.
Exactly.
Anyhow.
But also it's the worst fucking sex scene because it's just weird cuts of caressing.
It's basically they just wanted to show boobs.
And some boobs. Yeah.
So they show some more boobs off and Billy gets his first eyeful of butts, which is mostly a man butt.
It is. Yeah.
So he sees this is obviously something that's going to affect him later on in life.
Something triggers him because we get the flash of his mum's
yes, because then which is weird. Mm-hmm. So we see when he looks at the naked teen, he gets a flash of his mum's boobs just before she's getting a throat cut. Mm-hmm. Now I don't know what version of this you had, but I had a version that had all these scenes put back into it that were in lower grade quality.
I had that, yeah.
Yeah. And I reckon it's the director's cut. So I reckon there was And there were some like different angles of the throat getting cut and stuff that were way more full on than the original.
Yeah, there was a cut of this film, so I'm pretty certain what we watched was like the director's cut.
And there was a lot more like freakouts of him, like shots and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So he gets to see this thing, and our Mother Superior busts him looking in the keyhole, but then she also bursts in on the teens and beats them.
Just starts wailing on them with a fucking belt.
Yelling out, devils.
Yeah, punish.
Devils, punish.
Oh. And then she's like, calls, like, she comes outside because then Billy's outside.
Yes, and then Billy's like, fuck this shit. I'm out of here.
And she comes outside and she's like, William. And you're like, oh, this kid's in trouble now. First name basis.
And then like, the nun comes up and goes, no, I said he could leave his room.
Yep.
And she just ignores nun, nun, and just goes like, "Why were you outside your room?"
Yes.
And he doesn't even argue.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
He's just like downtrodden now.
There's no point.
The Lord's watching him.
And again, another really good quote here is, so Billy goes to go back inside, and this little small kid who's playing in the snow, he's like, Billy, what's wrong? And then another small kid just deadpan says, your brother's a nutcase, that's what's wrong.
Yeah. Then that's the main point when we're like, oh, okay, so that was the baby.
Yes.
So now the baby, they're both in the orphanage. It never mentioned that.
No.
Yeah, your brother's a nutcase, that's what's wrong.
I fucking love that.
What a cockney little kid.
I'd also like to point out that I watched this. I drank a lot of rum yesterday because I made rum balls. So by the time I actually sat down to watch this, I was quite soused.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Bit of rum balls on you. Mm-hmm. Up and in you.
Everything was super amusing to me.
So, yeah, the Mother Superior basically gives Billy the belt and basically gives him a bit more trauma. Mm-hmm. I think we get a bit of a flashback as well to him.
I think so. She's basically like, what did you see? What do you know what they were doing? He's like,
I saw nothing.
No, I don't know. Like, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cut to nighttime and Billy's having a nightmare about his dad now. Mm-hmm. His dad's dead corpse. So basically everything Billy does, he just has flashbacks to his parents getting murdered throughout the whole film. And we'll just, montages, murders. Yeah. Keeping it suppressed. Mother Superior basically just says he can't do anything. She's got a lot to answer for.
Yeah. So he comes running out of his room.
He wakes in fright.
Yep.
From a nightmare. He runs out into the hall, and of course Mother Superior catches him and ties him to his bed.
I know, I'm like, that's a great way to deal with trauma, is tie someone up.
What the fuck? And then nice nuns there going, what the fuck?
Yeah. She's just, okay, sure. So then it's Christmas morning. Cut to Christmas morning. Billy's coming down the stairs. Mother Superior is talking to the nice nun. She's like, my methods work. My methods will work. He will sit on Santa.
And you're like, oh,
and I'm
God.
like, why are you doing this to this kid? Like, fuck off. And so
all the kids there sitting on Santa, it's Billy's turn.
He's screaming. He's like freaking the fuck out.
He's having a in the middle of a shopping centre kid freak out that you always see.
Oh, yes.
And he goes near Santa and fucking just...
He fucking decks him.
He decks Santa.
He decks his
with
holes.
a wicked sound effect, like...
Yeah.
Santa just falls.
He's like bleeding into his beard. Oh.
Yeah, and then Billy runs to his room.
Yep.
And then...
Yeah, so he runs up, hides in the corner.
Yeah, he does a full rocking in the corner.
Yeah, he's freaking out, and you just hear this Mother Superior in the background just be like, call his name, and then we get this freeze frame.
Yeah, so we don't even see Mother Superior. We just hear her come in the room, say his name, him look scared, and then a freeze frame.
I kind of wanted like a star wipe.
Yeah. The freeze frame with a slow fade to spring 1984.
Yeah, 10 years later.
And we cut to a toy shop.
Yes.
No, I don't know where.
No.
Toy shop.
I'm guessing in Utah.
Yeah, I guess this is Utah. Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? So we've got the nice nun talking to the toy shop owner.
Yep, I call him boss.
About a job. Any job. And...
Yeah, she's trying to get someone a job. She's trying to get Billy a job.
Yeah. He thinks that she's talking about a child. He's like, I need a stock boy. So I need a strong boy. I need a man.
I need a man.
Who can come in and carry shit.
Anyway.
And she's like, oh, you should meet him.
In comes Billy. Cut to sexy saxophone.
Oh.
Slow pan up Billy's muscly body.
Yep.
And
over his very tight jeans.
The toy shop man, it looks like he's a bit sexually overtaken with him. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, because he's a manly man. He was like a dreamboat man. He's blonde. He's pretty.
But the guy wasn't. He never turned out to be a gay character. I
No.
fully thought there was going to be like a rape sex scene with the boss.
Oh, God.
Because the boss was all like, ooh.
I think he just realized that we're talking about
A cut boy.
a cut boy who's like, oh, you know he can lift a box.
Oh, he can lift a
he
box.
can lift a box.
He's never lifted a box, but he can lift one.
But then we get this really cool 80s montage of Billy being a model employee.
Yeah.
Stocking shelves, helping little girls, getting hugs from children. He's
Actually, to
just
music as well. Like,
Yeah,
all
this
like
is like-
cheesy.
weird, cheesy 80s Christmas music. But, okay, so all of the music used in this film is all Christmas music. And I've never heard any of it in my life.
Yeah, I never heard of it either.
Couldn't tell you.
But yeah, the montage is wicked. It's so stupid. But
Mm-hmm.
what makes this is when you first start noticing. I paused it. This is a real toy shop. It's
Yes.
filmed, and there are some stellar toys on the shelf. So real toys.
Yep.
We have at one shop. There's in this montage. There is a shot, and I pause it. There are 5 boxed Jabba the Hutt Star Wars playsets just sitting all on top of each other.
Oh.
Like, that shit would be worth so much money.
So much money.
There is like a boxed Castle Grayskull in the background. There is the Krull board game. Remember Krull?
I remember Krull.
Krull board game in the background. There's all these like wicked toys, and I was like, and it took me back. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is when I remember what toy shops look like.
Yeah.
Even though if you look at it, it's the most budget-looking toy shops. There's Bunnings shelves and like.
It's fine.
But yeah.
It's fine.
But oh man, I was like, whew.
And this is still in this montage. And then, of course, Mr. Sims, who is the toy shop owner, he brings out the Christmas banner and starts
'cause now it's
unfurling it.
Suddenly it's Christmas time again.
Yes.
So we only so Billy's for the whole year he's
a model employee.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Boss Man brings out the Merry Christmas banner. Billy looks at it and starts shaking. Like, do you remember Let the Blood Run Free?
No.
There was like really?
Yeah.
Let the Blood Run Free used to be a television show on in the 80s, which was a hospital parody, an Australian hospital parody.
Oh.
And it was like super violent, super weird, but there was always like overacting. There was a character in it that would have a flashback.
Yeah.
Whenever he did, he'd go, and then go, and shake, like, and he just does that throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
He has these shakes and stuff. Like,
Yes.
you have to look up Let the Blood Run Free.
Okay.
So good.
I will. That sounds
Probably
great.
was shit.
Okay. I
Yeah.
love it.
So Billy has a bit of he starts freaking out a little bit. Then we
Yeah.
cut to a scene with a co-worker who I just called the dickhead. Because I don't know if he had a name.
He does have a name, but at this point we didn't know his name, so I just called him Small Angry Middle-Aged Stock Boy.
Oh, he was a man.
He was.
So he's basically the other employee, which is a male, and he starts hanging shit on Billy for slacking off because he is threatened by how good Billy is,
Yeah.
how muscly Billy is, and just so
How
he's
tall,
like basically
gorgeous,
just when people you're threatening to me because you're better at the job than me because
Yeah.
I want to slack off and I'm a dickhead.
So he's like, Billy, you got a fucking attitude.
And Billy just says nothing.
He's just... I like that he called him a moon goon. Like, what the fuck is a moon goon? But I also love it, and I now am going to call everyone moon goon.
A moon goon is good.
Maybe I need to Google it first.
Nah, in case it's some sort of racially charged thing.
Maybe. I don't want it to be that. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Next time we see the shop, they're setting up a Santa
Yep.
display or whatever. A thing with a chair where the kids come and visit Santa.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called. A magic cave.
Yes.
Just
Billy sees the Santa.
seats.
He just like
Just sees.
falls over.
Yeah, he just sees the Santa set up, and he basically has a bad acting freak out and falls back because over some toys. Like,
Yeah.
Anyhow, a lady comes over to help him out, co-worker, who I just called Crush Lady because I didn't think she really had a name either.
called a
She's the lady that Billy obviously likes. He hasn't really talked to her that much, which I find surprising. Anyhow, she comes to help him up. Then, she's just talking to him, trying to be nice, and he freaks out because, he's talking to the girl he likes, and he bails.
Yeah. He bails hard. And then we get a flash of a naked couple.
Well, then, Billy... Yeah, then it just cuts to,
He's making out with this stock
Yeah, it just
girl.
cuts to her like she's
It's-
naked and she's in the same position.
Yeah. So we're
as-
having some sexy naked caressing.
Yeah, when we find out it's her and him, but they're in
Mm-hmm.
exactly the same position as the couple from the orphanage were.
Yes.
And then, like, and then we see that it's a sexy dream.
Uh-huh.
He's having a sexy dream, and then it ends with him getting killed
Yeah.
by Santa.
So this Santa comes out with the same knife that was used to kill his mum and basically just cuts him along his whole side.
His
and it kind
spine.
of looked good.
Yeah, because they've got like a lot of the weapons in this, just like, they've done the effect with just the weapon spurts out blood,
Yeah.
which always looks cool. So yeah, he wakes in fright again because
Yeah.
Santa murdered him in his dream while he was fucking that lady.
And then he ends up crying in the corner like a little bitch, the same way he did when he was a kid.
Yeah, so he's starting to freak out. He's starting to become unhinged, and at this point,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's going to become the killer.
So, something's happening.
But this is like a long way into the film. They were like nothing. So the original grandfather,
Yeah.
the original killer, robbing Santa, nothing to do with this. That like, anyhow,
Yeah.
cut to New Year's Eve in the toy shop.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, sorry.
Christmas Eve. There's I think it's the boss's assistant. I have no idea who she is. She comes to the boss and she's like,
This is another lady. This is
well,
another elderly lady.
yeah. She's like, well, look, you got a problem. So Santa's not coming. He's like, well, you need to ring and get another Santa. She's like, he's broken his ankle skiing. He's not coming in. We need to find another Santa.
And it's like, it's Christmas Eve. There's no,
Yeah.
they're all booked out.
There are only women available. And then we ask ourselves, who could we possibly get to play Santa?
And then we cut to Billy with dickhead worker, and he's still giving him shit.
I know.
He's just giving Billy shit. He's very unreasonably giving him shit as well. They're just trying to make him a dickhead. So
Yeah.
and later on that he's going to be one of the the straws of the camel on the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Oh,
the straw
yes.
on the camel's back, and like
Yeah.
that. I think.
Wow.
And then Billy, the boss, comes in.
Yeah.
Dickhead guy makes out there they're talking nice.
Oh, we're all friends. Yeah.
Yeah. And boss man asks Billy, "Can you do me a favor?" And Billy's like, "I'll do anything you want," because he's just a nice, simple lad.
He's just a moon goon.
Moon goon. And then it just cuts, hard cut, to a shot of Billy dressed as Santa looking in a mirror with the most glazed, unhappy, like, look on his face. Like, you can just hear, like, the doom sound in his head, like,
Yep.
frozen. So good. Starts to get funny.
Yep. And now is about the point where stuff starts happening. So we cut to Billy sitting in the Santa chair. He's got a little girl on his lap who
This is hilarious.
He's freaking out. She's like, I don't want to. He's just kind of like holding her and he's like, what's the matter with you?
Yeah, so he's talking to her and no one else can hear him.
He's like, what is the matter with you? Stop kicking.
Yeah.
You will be punished.
Yeah, you don't want to be naughty.
Small children will be punished if you're naughty. And meanwhile, the parents are on the sidelines being like, oh, he's so great with kids.
Yeah. Look, they can't hear what he's saying. He's
He's so
basically
good.
just saying, you'll get killed.
Yeah.
You get killed. You'll be... And then... and then the best thing is, like, it just hard cuts to the nun ringing up the toy shop for no reason. Nice nun.
It's because she's Loomis.
Yeah, she basically is Loomis, isn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
Loomis from Halloween, in case you...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Loomis. Yep.
Hard cuts to her ringing the toy shop for no reason. Because this is like half a year later. Because
Well,
like,
it's
he's been there
10
for
yeah. So he
As-
started in spring, so now it's like he's only been there for a small amount of time.
And she finds out that he has had to be dressed up as Santa. Mm-hmm. And it has this doom like, dun dun.
Oh.
And she just hangs up the phone. Like, she doesn't even go, maybe you shouldn't warn it.
Like, get him out of that suit. Get him out of the shop. Get away from him.
His parents, why doesn't anyone just say, his parents were murdered by someone dressed as Santa? It's probably not the best thing to do.
He's full of trauma.
Yeah.
He's triggered at Christmas time. Get him out of there.
Anyhow.
No.
Somehow Billy makes it through the whole day being Santa.
He does.
And it's, it's day's over. It's the end of shift. Party. Christmas staff party.
His system shuts the door. He's like, 7 o'clock, time to get shit-faced.
They get out a whole, 10 bottles of JB, put it on the counter of scotch,
Yep.
and they just start partying.
Yeah. Which is how it should be.
Everyone hits the booze. And they're hitting it pretty hard as well. Like,
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's these, five people there?
yeah.
5 people hitting it hard. And, of course, it's the staff party hookup.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, apart from
the-
the fact there's some box Castle Grayskulls in the background,
Yes.
which I kept looking at.
So the stock girl goes off with Andy, who is the little stock man.
That's a dickhead.
The angry dickhead. His name's Andy.
Yeah, why did she go off with him?
I don't know. She clearly likes Billy.
Yeah.
She goes off with this dickhead. Look at Billy. He's tall, he's blonde, he's pretty.
First, they start making out around the toilet.
Billy sees that.
The party is just Billy standing there with scotch in his hand getting drunk.
Just watching them.
The owner getting paro and the other lady, the elderly lady, just dancing.
Yeah.
And it's like, woo, party!
It sounds like fun. I would have liked to have been
yeah,
there.
I would have liked to have been there.
It would have been great.
And then, anyhow, then Dickhead and Crush lady go out the back storeroom, and this whole time, like, Billy's watching them with his, like, he's just staring. He's dressed as Santa, which is all freaking enough himself.
Yeah.
And he's seeing his love get with a dickhead, and he's just like, it's building, it's building, it's building. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to freak out so hard.
Yep.
And I was really looking forward to it, eh?
Yeah. I'm like, well, because at this point it's 40 minutes into the film and not a lot has happened. So, you know, I'm gearing up for some Santa's sleigh right now.
Santa's sleigh. Yeah. Anyhow, and then the dickhead, suddenly she's like, no, stop it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't take no for an answer. And
Where
he
he's-
basically holds her down, rips her top open,
Yeah.
a la exact, whilst Billy's, you know, he's spying on them through the shelves.
He's like, I've got your gift right here, buddy.
Yeah. Rips her top off, her titties go flopping around exactly like Billy's mum's.
Yep.
Billy's like, you know,
Yep.
he's watching
He's got this smile on his face. He's gone. He's snapped. It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, he basically goes into a crazy trance and he smiles, and that's when you know. As soon as he smiles, you're like, you're done.
Shit's about to get real.
You're cooked.
He just starts screaming naughty as he attacks Andy. He ends up like wrapping.
He just becomes super strong. Like
he does.
Holds Andy up by the throat with one hand.
Yeah, wraps these Christmas lights around his neck and hangs him.
Well, she's kind of like crying in the corner, with her boobs out. Strangles him and like strangles him to the point where the Christmas lights making him bleed. Don't know how that would work, but it's fine. They're still on.
Let's not argue that.
Anyhow, he kills him, and then he goes to like help Lady Crush, and she freaks out like, you're a fucking idiot, mate.
Yeah, so she attacks him, and he's like, punishment is necessary.
And he gets a box cutter out and just fucking cuts her box.
He basically splits it like belly to sternum.
Yeah, he just embowels her.
Yeah, with a box cutter.
We don't really see that. We just kind of see him like upwards.
We see the blood line, and that's about it. So, which is fine. So then Mr. Sims out the front, who's fucking rat-ass drunk, he hears something. And
he's like, what?
He's like, what's going on? Party's going on in here. And he goes off into the stockroom. I loved him, by the way. I thought he was
a funny guy. Yeah, he was a nice dude.
So he goes up into the stockroom.
He comes in and basically instantly claw hammer to the head. Yeah. So now Billy doesn't see people as people anymore.
No.
He just sees them all as naughty.
Well, they're all
basically
naughty.
Santa from Futurama.
Yes. My God. Yes.
So he claw hammers the boss man in the fucking head, and his bald head. He's got a balding head.
He does. Then Mr. Sims' assistant, so the older lady out the front, who is also rat-ass drunk.
Yeah, she's rat-ass drunk. There's a big scene of her just dancing by herself until she suddenly realises, hang on.
Well, there's nobody here.
Where is everyone?
Well, this is embarrassing.
Then she goes into the back room. Everyone goes to the back room.
Yeah. Something about being around the back.
Oh, wait up.
Round back.
And then she finds boss man, Mr. Sims, in there with a claw hammer in his head. And then Billy jumps out with an axe.
Yep.
She goes, fuck, shit. She runs out into the toy shop.
Yep.
But it's locked.
Oh, of course
She's locked in because, the owner locked it and there's no way getting out of a toy shop.
So then she goes...
It's like a stalking kind of scene with Billy.
Yeah, she goes for the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. She goes for the phone. Axe goes through the counter. She runs off, chase ensues, and he's reciting "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" as he's stalking her around the shop.
And then she decides to... Does she try and...
She fucking gets the drop on him, though.
Yeah, she punches him up or something.
He sees her hat, because she's wearing this little festive hat, and he sees it at the top of something, but... She's fucking smart, 2 steps ahead of this guy. She's placed the hat there.
As if she would have done that.
I know. And he comes flailing around with his axe, hits her, and she's...
a box of toys.
She's got the drop on him. She's running for the door.
She pushes him in the back, runs for the door.
All of a
sudden, out of nowhere, Billy has a bow and arrow. Like, not even a toy
What
one.
toy shop sells a fucking bow and arrow?
Well, yeah, he's just got a bow and arrow, and he basically just bows, like, pierces her through the back all the way to the front. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. No foreshadowing of a bow and arrow ever being in the film at all.
No.
And it was an instant shot. So suddenly, now I've got a bow and arrow. Ho, ho, ho. Anyhow, she's dead.
She's dead.
She's like on the ground.
So Billy just basically unlocks the shop, walks out with axe in hand.
She could have unlocked it.
Yeah. So then we get this lovely cut of all the dead people in the shop.
I know, yeah. And then for no reason, the nun rocks up at the shop, finds all the carnage, finds everyone dead. She's like, oh no. Yep. Maybe I should have mentioned on the phone.
She freaks out. She leaves. And then we get a nice cut to some carolers who are singing yet another Christmas song I have never, ever heard of.
And this is the new location.
Yep.
This is like setting the scene. We're in the burbs now.
Suburbia.
The burbs.
Old mate burbs.
And then we cut to some teens making out on a pool table.
We get some sexy 80s soul Christmas music.
Yeah. And boobs again.
And more boobs, yep.
Why would anyone make out on a Christmas table? I mean, on a pool table.
Exactly.
It's so uncomfortable.
Expensive for one.
You don't want to get any leakages on there.
No.
Any bodily fluids on a pool table. And then you're busted.
No.
Anyhow, it's stupid. There's a girl upstairs who comes down. Like they're obviously
Cindy.
Is it the sister or they're babysitting?
I'm thinking it's the younger sister.
Yeah. So yeah, the little girl's upstairs and she's like, oh, I'm gonna get busted.
Yeah. She's like, I want to wait up and see Santa. She's cock blocking, and I love how easily manipulated children are by Santa. So she's like the older sister, the girl who's making out with the guy on the pool table. She's like, oh no, you need to go back to bed. Santa won't come see you if you are naughty, or Santa won't come see you if you're awake. If you're awake.
Yeah, I reckon that would have worked on every kid. That was convincing.
Oh man, I used to with my niece when she was a lot younger than she is now. If she was acting up, I'd just go to get on my phone and be like, oh look, I'm gonna have to call Santa. She'd be like, no. Fuck no! And she'd freak out, and I'd be like, "Okay, let's call Santa. You just gotta behave yourself." So
anyhow, they decide to stop having sex for a little while. Or they're not even having sex. Like the dude's got all his clothes on. She's got just her. She's got her boobs flopping around. She decides to let the cat in.
Yeah, because
she opens the front door with no top on.
I know, because they hear the jingles. They hear some jingling.
Which we all know is Billy.
Which we know is Billy.
But she's like, I can hear the cat's bell.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she goes to the door.
Shorty shorts and no top. It's the middle of fucking winter in Utah. It's snowing. It's cold outside. You are being an irresponsible person.
It's just they just wanted to show more boobs. It was kickstarting her acting career. Look at her now. Who knows? Probably dead. Anyhow, there is a cat.
There is a cat.
The cat comes inside.
Yep.
And then Billy bursts in.
Yep.
Does he burst in through the door?
Well, he kind of goes through,
it.
and she sees him, she screams, she slams the door, and then he starts smashing through the door, screaming, punish, because that's his thing. Punish and naughty.
Punish, naughty! Yeah, he basically shinings the door with an axe.
Yeah.
And bursts in.
She runs off to another room. He throws an axe at her, barely missing her. Then they start rumbling. They're beating each other up a little bit. He's not very good at fighting.
No, he's just...
but
she's being very naughty.
Well, she is,
She's got she not only is she fighting back, but she also had no top on and she was on a pool table staining the table, which is very naughty. This kill was wicked.
Yes, I liked the look of this. So
this reminded me of the Fury's kill. It was slow.
Yes, also very Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
So he basically picks her up.
She's still nude.
She is still
half nude. Boobies.
Walks her over to a giant, deer head, you'd say? Yeah,
one of those deer heads on the wall with big antlers.
Big old antlers, and he impales her very slowly onto these antlers.
Pushes her onto it, and you see it coming through from the backside and out, the antlers coming through her stomach, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then the shot of her hanging on there.
Yeah.
On this thing. So you got this half-naked woman, boobs out, with, stabbed on these antlers, little blood down her body, hanging over it. It looks so satanic.
It does.
And I reckon this was the scene that made everyone hate it. I reckon this was Satanic Panic as well.
Yeah, well, this is peak Satanic Panic.
Yeah, because I was like, that's satanic as fuck, I've written in my note. That was so good.
No, I liked it. And I think as well, because they did a full shot, and you kind of looking at it and you don't see her standing on anything because it's like you see everything.
Yeah,
And
it
you're
looks good. It's
how
very
is
Cannibal
she hung
Holocaust.
up? Oh, yeah, I did think about that at one point as well, yeah.
Anyhow, then the teen boy, he comes down from downstairs, like, after all this fighting and...
He's just casually playing pool, too.
Yeah, like, by
He's just
himself.
like, okay, I'll just
Pool.
wait.
He finds his door, like, burst open, and he finds his girl hanging on the bloody antlers. And he's like, it's a bit...
But even then, he, like, walks in.
Oh, it was a reindeer.
He
That's
doesn't
why.
even, like, see...
Oh, wait, was it a reindeer?
I'm going to say it was a reindeer.
Yeah, because
that makes
Christmas
it more
themed.
festive.
Yeah.
But he's, like, clearly walks into the room and does not notice this person, like, hanging from antlers. And then all of a sudden he, like... Surprise, motherfucker. He turns around and is like, oh, shit, she's hanging there. And then Billy jumps out.
But he does the smackdown on Billy.
He
Because
does.
he's a rough and tough quarterback.
Well, he's got that sandy blonde hair, so...
So, yeah, he gets up on Billy in this fight. He basically beats Billy up a bit.
Beats him with a fire poker.
Yeah, but then he doesn't really finish the job. And then Billy comes back.
Billy goes falling down the stairs. So he goes over the railing, down the stairs. And then he goes to call the police. Then Billy intervenes, ties the phone cord around his throat, kicks the shit out of him, and then proceeds to just hurl him through a window.
Yeah, a real tall window as well.
Yeah.
Like one of those big... And this was awesome because, like, it wasn't the fault kill of him. It's this giant plate of glass that is through his side and his face.
Yes.
I mean, it could not have happened.
That'll do it? No, it
Yeah,
would
but
not
like
have
it's like the size of like... Oh, it was massive. It's like the size of 4 basketballs.
Yeah.
Like a bit of plate of glass. He only went through a tiny window. Like,
Yeah, no,
and
that's a huge...
Anyway, it was a very gory, awesome, like, glass impaling.
I was okay with it.
I was fine with it.
So then Billy grabs his axe and he's about to walk out when young Cindy is standing in the hallway.
Yeah.
And for a second, I'm like, is he going to kill the kid?
I was like, yeah, because
Like, you're going to kill the kid.
I was really surprised. I thought they were going to kill the baby at the start as well.
Yeah, I did think so as well.
Yeah, and then Billy starts talking to her as Santa.
He's like, have you been naughty?
And she's
Oh,
like,
nice.
no.
Yeah, she's like reassuring him. He's like, have you been naughty? She's like, no. He's like, are you sure you've not done anything naughty? She's like, no.
He's like, are you sure?
Yeah, and meanwhile, he's like reached into his pocket. He's pulled out his knife, the box cutter that he used to kill the other girl.
Blood all over it. I have a present for you.
And then he just gives her this bloodied knife.
And walks off.
Gives her a bit of a smile and then just leaves.
And she's just left there
She's
like
just like,
looking
what
perplexed.
the fuck is this garbage?
Yeah, like...
What am I going to do with this?
But end of scene.
This isn't Malibu Barbie.
Hard cut to a police station of some policemen driving. Oh my god, the cops in this town. They were just the mutinous idiots. So the police now know for some reason that we can only assume the nun has gone to the police station and explained that this guy snapped. They're already looking for him.
Yes.
Which is nice. I was like, you know what? I don't need to see a scene of them working it all out.
No.
So they're looking for a Santa, a dude dressed as Santa breaking out. They see him. He's got a ladder. He's climbing a window. He's gone into someone's house. Police burst into the house. Mm-hmm. There's a family in there, a mum.
Yep.
Run upstairs. And they like, free Santa. And there's like a kid there's a Santa in the room with a kid. And suddenly I look around and he's like, Dad?
Yeah.
And it's not Billy. It was just a dad making.
Oh, it's got the. Oh.
We got the wrong Santa Claus.
We were fooled.
So straight away they're like implying that the police are idiots.
Yep. Hard cut.
Oh, that was it.
Just cuts to Billy walking down the road. Just this random dark as shit road, side of the road. Out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and he jumps off into the bushes because a cop car comes screaming past.
So he knows to hide.
Yeah, he's got some kind of inclination.
And then that's one little quick scene, and then that's it. And then hard cut to 2 kids tobogganing in the middle of the night in the forest.
So 2 nerdy teens with sleds yucking about virgins. They're just like, I'm just going to go
why
down
would
this
you bugging
virgin
in the
hill.
middle of the night? It's going to be wicked. And then all of a sudden, 2 more bullies come out.
Yeah, some jock teens come out, and they look like they're about to rumble over some sleds.
Yeah. And they're like, give us your toboggans. And he's like, no. And he goes, yeah. And then I don't know, and they punch.
Are you really doing this? And they just basically beat up these kids, run them out of the woods, and they take their sleds.
Their toboggans. And then they go down the hill, and there's this shot of him going, wee! Like these adult, like, jokes. going down the hill like one at a time. They don't even go together, which would have been way more fun.
I know.
To do it with your mate. And then one stays at the top, and he's like, yeah, this is the best. He gets to the bottom, and then he's like, you have a go, man.
It's like, I'm here now. It's your turn. He's like, now watch this. And then so the other jock goes flying down the hill, and as he's screaming and wooing around, Billy jumps out with a fucking running swing.
And that's all we see. We don't see what happens.
All we see.
And then we see dude at the bottom waiting for his mate, and we see the sled coming down. It's just a dummy without a head.
Decapitated body.
It was wicked. I was so into this one.
I laughed so
hard. And then the head comes rolling down after, and I was like, this is amazing. So Billy's just like killing anything.
Meanwhile, like the jock at the bottom of the hill is like wailing like a schoolgirl.
Yeah, screaming.
I
He
fucking
just
loved it.
screams until the shot fades out.
Yes.
For ages. Like, and it's just a slow fade.
This film's classic and I love it.
And then we cut back to the police station.
Yeah. So, cop station, the nun's fallen asleep on the bench.
So, obviously, now good nun's at the police station.
Yeah.
We put two and two together. And then they devise a plan. So, she wakes up. Chief of police is like... And then they're like, hang on. Oh, my God. I know where he's going.
Yeah, because
I don't know how.
No, because she's like, oh, is there any news? And he's like, bad news, sister. Three more murders. And, yeah, so then, yeah, we do get this, like, predicting the next move thing.
And then we cut to a policeman driving, and on the radio they're like, "Look out! Like, go to the orphanage. There's going to be a man dressed as Santa. Shoot to kill if you see him. Shoot to kill." Anyhow,
the fucking orphanage. It's all coming together now.
Yeah, so it's daytime now.
Yeah,
it's the next day. So the cop speeds to the orphanage. He sees Billy. He sees Billy going into the orphanage. You know, all the kids are out the front, and they're like, "Yay!" And then so so the cop jumps out of the car and goes, "Stop!" Billy doesn't stop. And so he just lays a whole clip into the back of this Santa, and he's like dead on the ground.
Yep. Uh-oh.
And then like Mother Superior, all the kids run inside.
Yes.
They've all like witnessed, you know,
a death
of Santa. One kid gets Santa's blood sprayed all over his face. And now the nuns come out, Mother Superior comes out, and then they realise, hang on. You just shot Father. What's his fucking name? Like, why didn't he stop? Because he's deaf.
Yeah, it's not Billy. It's a deaf priest who's come out to play Santa.
No one seems to care though. Did you notice? No one. That was the end of scene.
That's it.
Like the cop didn't get in trouble. No investigation of murdering someone shot in the back.
In my mind though, I've gone straight to, man, this cop's going to be out on stress leave.
Straight away, he's like,
he's just murdered someone.
And then he's just still there.
Yeah.
He's still on the case.
He's
And then he's like, he goes, everyone stay inside. Everyone, like, there's someone coming. They don't mention that it's a dude dressed as Santa coming to kill them.
No.
So the Mother Superior is still there. There's some other new nuns and shit like that. And all the kids are like, you know, they're huddling inside. They're a bit scared. What the fuck's going on? Mm-hmm. And then the cop goes, hang on, what's that over there? And sees a door open to a boiler room.
So he does, he does the perimeter check. Is it a boiler room or a storm cellar?
I don't know. It seemed like there was a boiler down there.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter. There's an underground door that he goes
down some stairs.
We get the suspense of him, like, you know, he's ducking around corners, trying to, like, you know, being the cop man. And then suddenly Billy just comes out with the axe and bloody...
I loved this scene as well because we get this really sort of tense scene of him like going through this room, this dark room. And then obviously it's like, you know, it's all clear. And then he walks up the stairs and as he gets to the top... Was there
another cat, like, red herring down there?
Possibly.
Or a rabbit or something?
But as he gets to the top of the stairs, you're like, okay, well, that was nothing. There's a fucking boom, axe to the chest.
Yeah, Billy axes him in the guts.
Oh, it looked good too.
And he fell down saying... Anyhow... And then, the best scene in the world, Billy starts walking towards the orphanage, just comes up to the snowman, some kid, man, and just chops off its head.
Axes it.
Axes it. Just like, fuck you, snowman.
Yep.
And it just seemed like that as well how he did it. It was almost like he would have laughed doing it as well. It was so stupid.
Yep.
Anyhow, Billy comes in the front door.
Well, meanwhile, so to keep the kids calm, Mother Superior, who has not aged but is in a wheelchair, so we get the point that she's older now.
Oh, yeah, let's sing a song.
They're singing carols.
Now, first, don't they go, Billy's brother's there?
Yes.
And Billy's brother
he's still there.
goes like, says something. She says, "Oh, you're such a good boy, not like your brother William."
Yeah.
Like, still just ragging on this kid.
Like, fucking leave him
12
alone.
years later,
Leave him alone.
10 years later, 10 years. She hasn't forgotten this kid who was naughty because he had trauma.
So they're singing carols, and Billy basically just walks up to the front door, which is a big glass door, and he like waves at a kid. This fucking dumb shit kid gets up and lets him in.
Yeah, because it was locked.
But no one's noticed this kid get up.
No one told anyone that it was going to be Santa. Because that cop's like an idiot. Anyhow, Billy just walks in into, like, you know, Mother Superior. I'm like, good. Mother Superior, please kill her. Like, like, she has done so much wrong to this kid her whole life. And the amount of other children she would have... She tied him to a bed and shit in the name of the Lord. And she kept on going, see, I was right. All the time when all these people... Even though, like she had destroyed people's lives.
Yep.
Yeah, and so, you know, she's just like... she's not even afraid of him. She's like, you won't fucking get me.
Yeah, so she's sitting in the wheelchair and she's just screaming at him, there is no Santa Claus. There is no Santa Claus.
And he's yelling out, naughty, or something.
Yeah, and meanwhile, so then he's like, we go into this delightful slow-mo of him. So he's got the axe, he's raising it up, and he's about to fucking smash some shit.
The slow-mo, and suddenly...
We're hearing some gunshots.
A whole clip is unloaded into Billy's back. Billy falls down, dead.
I love that standard cop stance too. You know, that spread-legged, both hands shooting.
Straight out, shooting. Yeah, it is a...
Boom.
And these cops are like, they're rural cops, so they're dressed in the brown uniform, like Northern Exposure, kind of like Fargo kind of like vibes. Like they're all like that, kind of like cops.
So now all of these children in the orphanage are traumatized because they've seen not one but two Santas get brutally shot.
Yeah, and as Billy is shot,
Yep.
he looks up and he goes, "You're all safe now. Santa is God," and dies.
Yeah, I'm like, well, that's kind of cool.
And
like,
then this is the best end
oh,
shot.
yeah.
And then it cuts to Billy's brother
Yep.
just looking exactly the same look as when Billy snapped.
Yep.
And he just looks at the Mother Superior and just goes, naughty.
Yeah, yeah.
Cut to credits.
Done. And I'm like, I smell a sequel. And there's 5 sequels.
Oh my God, really?
There's like 5 movies.
Because Fangoria made a new one. No, not
Yes.
Fangoria. They made a new one recently, about 3 or 4 years ago, just called Silent Night, which was a remake of this.
Yes.
And apparently it had the opposite reaction, and everyone loved it. Like, I don't. We
It's because we're so desensitized now.
I mean, but they might have made it really funny.
We should.
And because then Fangoria re-released it. This one, because this one had been not released in years and years and years.
I think Shout Factory released it as well. Because and then also NECA, because it's Shout Factory, NECA did a really cool figure of him. I think that got released.
Because the other thing is that I mentioned, he never ever pulls the beard up.
No.
He's only for one scene he had like when he's talking to the kids, but for the whole movie he's got the beard on.
Yeah.
But the moustache is pulled down as well. So
I love it.
Yeah, like
Makes
they
me so
didn't,
happy.
and it's cool because like that's a bold move, like to show that he's just like. So he basically became the killer of his parents. Like, oh, it was weird.
Yeah.
You're like, where did it lie? Like, what was the moral?
Well, it just
because
came
the Mother
full circle.
Superior doesn't die.
No.
She in her mind she is she's like solidified that she's still doing the right job. We can only assume that Billy's brother then goes on and kills her. We can only assume that, and that's
We'll have to watch the second one.
What are your final thoughts?
I loved this film.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I enjoyed it, especially when I had those little bits like the kicking the snowman over, the reactions of people, and
and that's sometimes for me it is literally just the little things.
You were like rum deep though.
I was rum deep.
You were Captain Jack Sparrow.
I was captains deep in this, which was good. Like this film is super quotable. It was pretty well acted, for the most part. You know, and I think they did a really good job with the budget that they had.
The gore was there.
Yeah, it was there. It was just a really cool film. Like I did not, because I don't tend.
Like it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
No,
I thought it was just going to be a guy murdering people, and then maybe the main character was going to be a cop.
Yeah.
But the main character was the killer.
That's right.
Or the progression of what turns someone into be a killer. Like,
yeah.
And that's, I mean, it may have been done a lot, but I haven't come across many films where you follow someone's whole thing and then they become the killer at the end, and then kind of they're like the victim,
Yeah.
but they're also the killer. The
Yeah.
killer and the victim are the same person in this.
He is a victim here. He is a victim of trauma. And then all this shit.
He's a victim of society, man.
Oh, we're getting deep.
No, we're not.
No, we shouldn't. But yeah, like I don't really watch Christmas movies at all, and that includes Christmas horror films. So this was really fun for me, and I really liked it. I'm like, this could be a Christmas movie for every year.
I can see how people would have been offended by this film.
Okay.
Because I reckon the people who got offended by it would have only been showing all the shots that were the most offensive all in a row, and
Quite
it wouldn't have had
possibly.
that whole story of like the trauma. Then again, it does have quite an anti-religious vibe to it.
It does. So
But
they started advertising this during like peak football season kind of thing for one. So when families are watching TV. So they had been setting this film up since like October, November. But I was also reading so there are a bunch of Christmas horror films that were released before. So we're talking Home for the Holidays in 1972, Silent Night, Bloody Night in 1972, Black Christmas 1974, Christmas Evil 1980, To All a Good Night also 1980, Blood Beat 1982, which also you should look up because it sounds really fucking cool.
Blood Beat.
And then Don't
Is it
Open
about a beetroot that kills people?
No, but there's like a samurai.
Oh,
And it is a horror film. And then Don't Open Till Christmas, also released in 1984. But none of these films received the same kind of level of, like, hatred and anti...
Yeah, this one was
Whatever.
lucky.
Yeah.
I know that is luck. Like,
Yeah.
For your film to get banned as a horror film, it's always good. I mean, it might affect your sales and
Probably.
stuff like that, but deep down, if you're making a horror film and it gets banned, you feel like, yeah, I did it.
I've accomplished something in my
I've
life.
accomplished something.
Yeah.
Like, this film is banned. It'll become unbanned one day, and then it'll become a cult classic. And
That's
it
right.
has. I gave this film a C as a classic worth a watch because I think it is exactly that. It is.
Yeah.
It made news. It was funny. It had gore. It had
Were these your final
a-
thoughts?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
These are my final thoughts. I've already said my final thoughts about the protagonist becoming the killer, the protagonist the killer being the victim, kind of complex issues within a simple story, kind of thing. And I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So C, classic worth a watch for me. What did you give it?
I also gave it a C, which is a classic that everyone should watch.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know where we can go from there. I think Merry Christmas,
Well, that's
motherfucker.
it. Yeah. I mean, I would very much just like to... Let me get all serious for a moment, guys. This has been awesome fun this year.
Oh, you're talking about us all over?
Yeah, us all over.
Yeah.
This has been so much fun doing this, and
I don't know when we started this.
we started this back in May.
33 weeks ago.
33 weeks ago, yes.
This is and we've got a beautiful little following. We love you guys. Merry Christmas to everyone out there on the Facebook and the
Yeah.
Instagram and everyone who comes into my shop and talks about the podcast and what they like, and everyone has supported us throughout the year. We can't do this without you guys. We can.
Well, we can.
We can. We
just talk
don't.
to ourselves.
This is a completely free podcast. We don't get paid for this. We do this for fun.
Yeah.
We're going to be bringing out our merchandise soon. Hopefully,
Heck yeah.
guys, if you want to support us, please pick up a pin or a T-shirt. We will have that somehow. I don't
We'll
know.
figure it out in the new year. Yeah.
Ah.
Let's just get through this fucking period first.
Yeah, we're just getting through, because, miraculously, as soon as it hits January 1st, coronavirus will disappear.
Well, it disappeared now, so I think it'll be back January 1st. But yeah, and even to you, without you, Dan, we wouldn't do this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, because you just came into my shop one day and we're talking about horror films. You're like, we should do a podcast. And
That's how I roll.
next minute,
I don't say anything I don't mean.
no, literally that night I get home, you've called me up and you're like, you need to buy this microphone. Let's think of names. Done.
Here's the logo.
Podcast. Shit.
It's
So
happening.
without you, this wouldn't have happened.
I don't know you wanted to do a podcast, and that's
Yeah.
why I was like, let's do this.
I just have zero confidence.
But now it's easy.
It's true. This is
Do you even get worried anymore?
no. This is so much fun.
what
The only thing I worry about is what am I going to watch this week? What are we going to watch?
What am I
are we
gonna
gonna
wear?
do? Yeah, what am I going to wear? Just go into my
I'll tell you
shirt
what
drawer.
you're going to watch this week.
Yeah.
So our future next movie we're going to fuck up is Critters 2, which I
Critters
wanted
2.
last week. So Critters 2, I don't know if it's got a tagline. It might. I can't remember if it does have. It does have a tagline. Maybe, I don't know.
The Crittering.
The Crittering. The Critters Reloaded.
When will we be back, Dan? Because obviously this Saturday is Christmas Boxing Day, and then the following Saturday is the New Year's situation.
Oh, wait. So, won't we will record on... Wait, won't the next episode be on the 29th? Yes.
Yes. When will we record it?
It doesn't matter. We'll work it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll go. So we still got one episode for the year.
We'll be back hard.
Yeah. So maybe we'll. Oh wait, is there a New Year's Eve? Is there a New Year's Eve horror movie?
There's got to be. Yeah, of course there is.
But what? Well, we should watch it now.
Okay.
What is it?
I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
Nah, let's just keep it at Critters 2.
All right. Done.
I'm pretty sure that Critters 2 is a New Year's Eve film.
Even better. That's fine.
So we'll see you guys next week. Remember, we record every Tuesday. And yeah, I'll let you...
Yes, so thanks, guys. You've been listening to TerrorVision Horror Podcast with Dan and Jennifer. We are available on all streaming services, including SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and basically anywhere good podcasts can be found. We are also available on the YouTubes, but no matter where you choose to consume us, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment or, a review, and share with all of your friends. We also have an Instagram at TerrorVision Pod, which we'll keep you up to date on all the upcoming episodes, trivia, and of course memes that are probably 3 years old by now. We also have an email, terrorvisionpod@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us to watch, discuss, anything like that.
Our song this week is not our usual song. I don't know what it's called. It's just the Crypt Keeper from Tales of the Crypt doing a Christmas song.
Yeah.
So we'll leave you with the whole song at the end of this episode, so you guys can listen to it because it's so stupid. But yeah, also check out Hack the Dino. You can go over there, and that's at my other YouTube channel that I do, a video game YouTube channel. So you can check that out, and also check out Greenlight Comics at 18 Stevens Place in Adelaide, just off Rundle Mall down the side of the Myer Centre, which is my comic shop. So if you like graphic novels and comics, come in there. Or if you just want to talk to me about the episode, come in and do it then. And until next week, may all your dreams be nightmare.
Raise the tree and bring the ladder. Fa la 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 la. Top it off with Gil's gallbladder. Fa la 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 la. Grinning skulls in festive poses. Fa la 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 la. Strings of toes and nipped off noses. Fa la 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 la. Who needs mistletoe and holly? Fa la 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 la. When we could just dismember Wally. Fa la 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 la. Have the whole place decorated. Fa la 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 la.